Stacy Joseph, and I want to bring to you some math concepts to prepare you for your test day. Whatever test it might be, whether you're trying to study for the ACT, the SAT, math is involved. So I want to give you a heads up on what to expect, what type of topics that will be covered in the test. Now there's some basic math concepts on the ACT, the SAT, PERT test, any standardized test that you're going to need to know. And these topics are universal. So it doesn't matter whether you're in Chicago, you're in Florida, you're in California, you're going to need to know these concepts. And they include topics from pre-algebra, intermediate algebra, elementary algebra, geometry, whether it be plane or coordinate geometry, and then also your trigonometry. So I want to keep you informed, give you some study tips, give you a way to be successful and ace your exam. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and start out with some basic ideas. When you're doing order of operations, you're doing operations on anything. This is basic arithmetic. You want to keep in mind that you do what's in the parentheses first. Then you move on into any type of exponents. So if you have something raised to a power, you'll take care of those powers first before you do anything else. And then you move on to multiplication and division. In your expression, any type of multiplication, any type of division, you will take care of it. And then lastly, you will do your addition and subtraction. So that is the order of operations. You don't want to do addition and subtraction before you do your multiplication and division. It just won't work out and you won't get the correct answer. Okay, so what is an example? Okay, well, let's say I want to do 2 times 4 squared minus 4 divided by 2, like so. Alright, so I have powers, I have parentheses, I have subtraction, and I have multiplication. Okay, so what I want to do first is what is in parentheses. Okay, well, what's in parentheses involves a power. We have to do that power first. So the power is 3 squared. We're going to have to do 3 times 3. Alright, so I imagine 3 times 3 is 9. And then I will have to move on into division. But even before I do that, I can get rid of my parentheses by multiplying out. So I distribute, I use a distributive property, meaning I'm going to give that 2 to each term. A term is where you have a number or an expression that might be attached to another number or variable or a combination of that by an addition or subtraction symbol. Okay, so what differentiates a term is addition and subtraction. Okay, nothing else really separates a term. So we know 3 squared is a term, and we know that 4 is a term. 4 over 2 is a term. Why didn't I say just 4 is a term? It's because it's not being separated by addition or subtraction. Only the 9 and the 4 over 2 is being addition subtracted. So here you'll see 4 over 2. So you want to make sure that you do 4 over 2 first because that's the division. Division comes before subtraction in the order of operation. Okay, and so 4 divided by 2 is 2. So you end up with 9 minus 2. Well, we distribute that 2 to the 9 and the 2, thereby giving you 18 minus 4, which is equal to 14. So there you have it. Order of operation. Alright, so that's one topic that I want to cover in your review of a review for your exam. Then the next thing I want to talk about is the greatest common factor. How do I find the greatest common factor and why? I want to find out what is in common in 2 or more numbers. Alright, so first thing I want to do is create a factor tree. Well, what is a factor tree? Factor tree is just basically breaking up a number into its smallest, most prime parts. Now, what's prime? Prime is a number that can only be divided by itself or 1. Like it has no other factors besides itself and 1. Okay, so for example, the number 7, you can't divide 7 by anything except itself and 1 and get an even answer with no remainder. And so that's what it means by prime. A number you can divide by is only itself and 1. Alright, so how do I factorize or find the prime factorization of a number? Well, let's start out with doing the number 18. Alright, so the number 18, there's 2 factors that can give you 18. 2 and 9. 2 times 9 is 18. Right? Then you have the 9 is not prime. So you want to make sure that every factor that you choose is prime. Okay, so 2 is prime, but 9 is not. So then I can break up 9 into 3 times 3. And so then you'll see 3 is prime. There's nothing else that could divide into 3 except for itself and 1. So that's prime. So you have 2, 3, and 3. That's the prime factorization. Those bottom line prime numbers that make up that top number. Okay, so you want to make sure that you do that to each number that you're trying to compare. So say I get the number 48. Alright, so if I divide 48 into 2, I get 24. Divide that 24 into 2, I get 12. Divide that 12 into 2, I have 2 and 6. Divide that 6 into 2, I have 2 and 3. Wow, look at that. This is my factor tree. So I did the 2 and the 24, 2 and the 12, 2 and the 6, and then 2 and the 3. Now those 2's and 3's is my prime factors of the number 48. So the greatest common factor is what's in common in both the numbers. Now I can compare 3 numbers. I can compare 4 numbers. I'm going to start out with these 2, 18 and 48. So then I look and I have 2 in common, 3 in common, 2 in common, and 3 in common. Alright? That's the most I have in common? No, actually, I have the 2, the 3. Oh, I don't have a second 3. So yeah, just 2 and 3. So there's 2 and 3 here, 2, 3 here. So that's 6. 6 is my greatest common factor. 6 or 2 times 3 is my greatest common factor. Now you will see often GCF, greatest common factor. That's the acronym for greatest common factor that you should be aware of. Okay, now I'm going to cover one more topic in this video because I don't want to make it too long, and then we'll go into the next session of review. Okay, so actually, you know what? I'll just stop here and I will continue on the next video. Thanks for watching.